Good evening, it's Healed and Open. I'll be doing the reading for Taurus for July 2019. I'm using the Soulful Wisdom deck and the Clarifying with the Tarot deck. When I was meditating on your energy, I kept seeing, like, you know how like when they do movies of comic books and they kind of like flip through the comic book, just like several images just at once? That's kind of what I saw. So let's see what that has to, if that comes into play with the reading at all. Okay. And Taurus for July 2019. Taurus for July 2019. That was a lot of trouble. Okay. Let's see, what do we have? Okay, we have revisit. Revisit acceptance. Number 30. Today I abandon my assumptions and enjoy my life more. Help me fact check my beliefs. So let's see. I'll read the passage in the book. Okay. It says, many of us live in a fantasy of what we think is happening to us and other people. Often the only truth to these ideas is that they live rent-free in our heads. Making up stories of what we think we should have done or worry about what may never happen keep us isolated from reality. It is important to connect with others and recognize our negative assumptions. Only then can we embrace what is real and move our lives forward. Help me fact check my beliefs. Okay. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords, Two of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, the King of Wands, Priestess. Have one more card. One more card for Taurus for July 2019. Okay. Let's see what we have here. So we have the Nine of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, okay. So I feel like in the recent past, possibly in the month of May, there were doubts of your possibilities. And let me see if I can really articulate this, okay? Because I get a very anxious feeling, but it's definitely like what I was meditating on. Everything's like moving really fast. I think you've come in contact with a lot of people just in general, not for any specific reason, just as if you passed a lot of people in the crowd. So maybe you just have dealt with a ton of people, almost to the point where it makes your head spin. But each one of those people that you've come into contact with have left an imprint on you to the point that you don't really, it leaves you unsure of who you are. And so where you were once the Nine of Pentacles, very sure about yourself, very in tune with your own spirit, now it's kind of like you feel a little off. And someone has brought it to your attention. Maybe someone you're in a relationship with, and it could be this King of Wands. A husband or a male best friend. Someone who definitely understands you, so you take what they say. You don't take what they say with a grain of salt. You know that if you felt the change and they've noticed the change, then you definitely are like, okay, like how it's almost like you feel less crazy or less delusional about it, but it's like, how do you fix it? Because you're used to having the energy of the High Priestess, but just in your recent encounters, it's been a little different. You've been unsure of yourself. Unsure of yourself when it comes to work. Unsure of yourself when it comes to your emotions. But that doesn't keep you away from people. You still stay in the mix. You still push through. But I also feel like your body has given you signs that you need to stop and rest. But you almost, no, you fight it. You just push through, and it may not be for the best. Some of you may have a new project coming up at work, and it has an opportunity, if this goes well, to lead to a promotion. And in your current state, you don't feel confident with being successful at it. and you will seek help from other people. I think at one point in time you've attempted to do the project on your own, but you were very unsuccessful. And that's only because this is something that you need to do. You need to become more vulnerable and ask help from others. Although it saddens you because you know that you can do everything on your own, the advice is that you seek help from coworkers. Because with it, you've been trying to carry the load on your own, and others have watched you struggle just because they're used to seeing you do things on your own as well. And so they figure you've proven to them in the past that you have it, but that's really not the case. So you're going to move, I think this project and this promotion moves you into a point where how you operated in the past will not be how you operate in like moving forward. It's not going to work. It will cause you to get ideas from other people and join them with your own, because that's the only way you'll shine. The days of doing things on your own and having a group project and being the only one that actually puts the work in, those days are over. You're moving into a time where you're going to have to work well with others, because that's going to maximize the benefit of your results. You're definitely qualified for the job because those skills are there. You've just been too resistant to work with others, but now is the time. It's time for you to let that go. Yes. So where you were the smartest of the group, it's not a one pony show anymore. It's time for you to become a team player. Because if you continue to take on, say if you get the position and you continue to be a solo artist or something like that, essentially you'll be by yourself, and you'll cause yourself like a great deal of heartache, sadness, disappointment. Alone for sure. And again, you'll find that you'll have projects where they'll, if you don't, we're stuck on work here, if you don't reach out for help or do things as a true group effort or teamwork effort, all your projects will pile up, and that'll leave you being unsuccessful. I don't know if there's a fellow manager or your boss will help you reach, like get to the point of being a temptress. This will help you vibrate on that level and help you develop those interpersonal skills that will make you more comfortable in asking for help and trusting other people's ideas. What is the advice for July, for Taurus for July of 2019? I believe you'll have to slow down. If you don't slow down, it'll cause health complications. Maybe something with vertigo, your equilibrium, just feeling really dizzy. Yes, so you're called to rest. Don't focus so much on your work. Your work's going to be there. It's plenty of it. There's plenty of work to be there to keep you occupied, but it's not going to, that's not all life is about. Life is also about relationships. I don't know if you've been using work to distract you from relationships, but there may be a relationship that you haven't been focusing on that has had potential the whole time, but you've been very distracted by work. And if you take some of your attention from work and apply it to this relationship, it will have a better outcome, an outcome you've never really imagined. Maybe you'll start to see its potential a little more. Become more of a caregiver, I hear, in your relationships instead of just the receiver. Share your thoughts, your fears. Become vulnerable. It's almost calling you to let your guard down. Let your guard down. It goes back to this card telling you to revisit. Today I abandon my assumptions and enjoy my life more. And that's your romantic life. I feel like there's a friend who has told you this, but has told you this a long, long time ago. Long time ago. And you ignored their advice. If you take a chance and you actually listen to it, you'll have a love that, like, you never thought was possible. It's almost like, where is it? I know I have all these cards piled up, but it was almost like, bear with me. Projects. Nothing to do with love. Unveil your eyes, unveil yourself from, clear all of that, even just a little. Just take like this row off. I'm not saying clear everything out from work, but don't let work be like the death of you. Just clear a little bit out. Make room for romance, and look what it could be. Look what it could be. Beautiful. Intentional love. Love intentionally. Be present in it. Take your significant other's advice, because I feel like they've hinted at it or they've said something about it, but you've kind of ignored it. Use the summertime to travel and be social. That's what's going to make you happiest. That's where you'll find your fulfillment, is in your relationships, not in your work. But let your work help you be a partner. And maybe that's why the message of the job was so heavy in the beginning, because that's where you spend most of your time. So if you ease up and become more vulnerable in your projects and allow ideas from other people, you can carry that over into your relationships or your relationship, and that could be more successful. Loosen up. Let your guard down. Taurus, I hope this resonates. If you would like an individual reading, you can contact me on Instagram at healed_and_open. Thank you.